Hi everybody, and welcome to another part of the Solidity tutorials. In this part we're going to work on the smart contract related to the lottery. So we're going to write a very simple lottery smart contract and then test it, and in the future tutorials we might also work on the more complex kinds of lottery smart contracts. But in this part the whole point is to find a way to choose a winner between amongst the number of participants. So now let's create a contract here, call this simple lottery dot sol, and now let's copy the first two lines from the other contracts here, and there we go. So now we can create a contract called lottery, and then we'll define some addresses. So address of the manager of the lottery, who is the message sender, and the address of the winner, address public winner address, and also an array of the players or participants, address public players. So now let's create a constructor which only gives the manager address. So manager equals to msg.sender, there we go. And now let's write the function related to entering the lottery, function enter, and public enter public payable. So in this case it does not necessarily need to be payable, because the person who enters doesn't necessarily need to pay a kind of a tax or a kind of fund for entering this lottery. But later in the future, when we want to get some funds from the players, then this payable type is necessary. So players.push message sender, and the function of getting the players, function gets player, players, and public public view returns, and it will return the addresses that we have. So address, the array of the address, and get it from the memory. So then we'll open up the brackets, and in here we'll return the players, return players, there we go. And then here we'll have the most important part of our smart contract, which is picking the winner, and public restricted. So I will tell you what restricted is. And by the way, we need to write this way, public restricted. This is the name of the modifier that we will define later. after writing this function, and this is a kind of a requirement that we will set for picking the winner. But notice that you can just simply write require, but this time we have decided to introduce modifier to you so that you can also get familiar with modifier. So now let's get into the function require. This is another requirement. So require that the players dot length, so the number of players should exceed 0, right? Or sometimes we can say 1, because with 1 player we cannot enter a lottery, because the only person who enters wins the lottery. But anyway, we consider that even if 1 player enters the lottery, then we consider him or her as the winner. So no players in the lottery. That's it, and uint 256 index equals random percent players.length. And this is how we decide which player with which index gets the number for actually gets the winnership of this lottery. And notice that this is a very simple kind of finding a random number. This could be manipulated or predicted. There are some better ways to do this, and better functions. But in this part, because it's a very simple lottery, we will use the random. And so let's continue the function winnerAddress equals the players index, players with the index, and then players will then be wiped off the array. So new address array with the length 0, right? So we won't have any players in the list of players. So now let's define the modifier. So whenever you want to have a kind of a require statement in some functions, in a number of functions, you will define the modifier and then put restricted, or at the name of that modifier, whatever their name is, after or before here or after the public, so that you will then be able to put that requirement inside of the function. So here we'll write the modifier. We'll write the name of the modifier. So modifier restricted. Modifier restricted, and we'll get the parentheses, and there you go. So require the msg dot sender to be the manager, right? So the manager should be the message sender, or message sender should be the manager. And then otherwise we'll say that restricted to the manager. So okay, let me fix this one. This is the message they will give, and so that's it. This is that's it for this line. And then in the end we will add the underline this at the end of the modifier. So let me see what's the problem here. Oh, okay, we shouldn't have saved anything from here. We have, so that happened there, but let me check if there is any actual error. So no, there is nothing wrong with that. Well, let's continue right now. So that is because we haven't written the function called random. So let's write the function random here, and this function choose a random number for us. So random private view returns uint 256, and then instead of a function it will return the uint 256. So here we have getcheck again, getcheck 256, abi.encode, abi.encode, packed block.basefee, block.timestamp, and players.length. So that's it. Three parentheses close, and there we go. So that's it for the random function, and that's it for the smart contract. So now let's save this, and as you can see, it's been successfully compiled, no problem, and we're ready for deploying the smart contract. So now consider this address, first address, as the manager, deploy the contract, and now you can enter the contract as a manager, but it's recommended that you do not do that. So the second address, let's enter successful. So let's enter the third address, successful, and fourth address, enter successful. So before you pick the winner, let's get the players. As you can see, three addresses will appear, and let's get the address of the manager. The address appears. So here you can write, for example, 1 and get the player 1, get the player 2, and get the player 3. If you enter 4, you will get nothing, just the address 3 will appear. So we don't have a winner address yet because we haven't picked the winner. So once we click on pick the winner, as you can see, because I am not the first address, it is not successful, so I need to be the manager to be able to pick the winner. So once I click the manager and pick the winner, as you can see, it is successful, and now I can pick the winner. So as you can see, the third address is the winner. And now that we've picked the winner, if I click on the players, as you can see, we'll get no player. So it's been reverted because we don't have any player yet anymore. So now let's get the players again. Actually here, get the players. As you can see, no players exist, and once I click 3, it will revert because we don't have a player 3. So we can enter again with these three addresses. Enter, let's enter with the second address, enter with the third address, and now we can start with the first address to pick the winner and get the winner address. Again, there seems to be okay, let me try again. So this time let's enter with the third address, with the enter with the second address. So there we go. And now let's get the players. And now let's pick the winner, and it's not successful because we're not the first address. Pick the winner and find out about, I don't know, for some reason this address gets to win every time, but let's choose another address. This time let's continue with this address and get the players to make sure no players exist. So enter with the 5th address, 6th address, and 7th address. Now let's get the players, get the manager, player 3, player 2, and player 1. Oh, player 1. So let's now pick the winner and check the winner. So the winner is this address, 5C. Okay, so 5C is the last one. For some reason it chooses the last one, so we need to check whether it's just for some reason or it's actually a random number going on. So let's enter again with this address and enter the other address, get the players. So there are 2 addresses. Let's get the 2nd address, which is this starts with 01, 0x1, and so player 0. Okay, so it starts from 0 actually. That's how it does it. So there we go. And winner address is this until we pick the winner as the manager. So let's pick the winner and check the winner's address. So now this time the first address actually gets to win this lottery, so it does not choose the second address, it chooses the first address, right? So for some reason it's been just a coincidence that always the last address would win, but that was just a coincidence, so our lottery smart contract works. So that's it for this part of our tutorial, and until the next one, goodbye.